What's up everybody, PA Outdoors here. I got a mail call from the Pathfinder Knife Shop. This is a do-it-yourself kit. It's the, how well that shows up there, PKS 13 blank and the handle kit. Stick around, I'll show you what I got. So the knife kit, like I said, the 13 model, here's what you get. The scale kit is an option. You don't have to get the scales when you buy the blank, but these are curly maple scales, and they come with the 2 pins. You see the pins right there, small pin, and then the tube, the lanyard tube. And then, of course, the blade blank itself. Now, this blade blank comes out of heat treat, and it's shipped to you. So it's got all the brown kind of, or the black scale from the heat treating process. Get this open here. Wrapped in plastic wrap. And it comes with a pretty heavy duty coating of oil on it to protect it from rust. But that's it right there. It says it does come with a wire edge on it, so it's going to need to be a finish stropping on it to take that wire edge off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this thing down, get a nice shiny finish on it, and I'm going to take you through that process. Let me get set up and let's start. Alright, so the first thing I did was I just took some automotive brake clean and sprayed it down to get that oil off. And I'm going to start with the handle area first. Obviously I don't need to get that quite as shiny as I'd like to get the blade. So I'm going to start off with 100 grit sandpaper, and I should take it down pretty quickly. Alright. And for where the scales are going to go, I don't need to really get it much better than that. I'm going to need to clean up all of this. Now they do grind the edge to give you that 90-degree bevel, or that 90-degree spine, but that is all going to be cleaned up there. And I'll do that without the block. Start on this other side first. I'll just take one of these scales and just see where the scale is going to stop. So up in there somewhere. try and sand always in the same direction so I don't have multiple scratches going all different ways to have to work out with the finer grit. Okay, so I've got the handles down to bare metal. Pretty scratchy from the 100 grit, but that's okay. Let's start working on this, the blade portion. Depending on what type of finish you're going after, I mean, you could stop there. While that light, see if I can shine some more light on the subject. There we go. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, there's lots of scratches in it, but I mean, that's not a bad finish if you're just looking for a a decent finish there. Now you can see that obviously in the machining process, all of these lines kind of go this way, and I'm not sure how well those are going to come out. I don't know what the grit those were done with, but we'll see. All right, I'm going to keep going here. Okay, you saw me do the 100. Since then, I jumped to 150, and then I did some 200, and I'm at 320, and what's become obvious is the scratches that are going this way in the blade from the machining process. If I wanted to get those out, I probably should have started at something like 40, because the heavy ones just aren't going to come out. So I'm going to continue as I'm going, and it's pretty much going to be what it's going to be, but I know I'm going to be happy with it. So, 320. You can feel it. I mean, it's getting, the steel's already getting very smooth, and it's starting to get kind of shiny in some spots, but those, like I said, those deep kind of, if you're holding the blade, the vertical grooves, I would have had to start with something much coarser. I guess in my excitement, I wouldn't think too much about it, but I think they're going to turn out pretty nice. Alright, so that's where I'm about going to quit. That's finished off with 400. There's still some scratches in it, and there's, like I said, there's a lot of the tooling marks. But I'm pretty happy with that finish. And again, down here I just did 150 just to rough it up to give the adhesive something to stick to. I mainly focused on this portion of the blade that's going to be obviously exposed. So that's where I'm at. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's actually pretty bad lighting. That's a little bit better. So there we can see it. And this is 1095 steel, so it will rust. So we'll have to keep a pretty good eye on it and keep it coated with something. Mineral spirits or something like that. Alright, I think it's time to start looking at these handles. Okay, so these handle scales were obviously cut on some sort of CNC router or something like that. And if you look right here, you can see there's a a line going down where the router cut this curve and left a little, and it looks like it was just rough snapped off or something like that. So we're going to sand this down first before we glue them onto the blade, because this is going to be almost impossible to get to with sandpaper once it's attached to the blade. So I'm just taking some 320 and I'm just kind of following the grain. And I'm just going to sand that edge down so I don't have to try and deal with it once they're glued onto the blade itself. Yeah, it's coming off nicely. Yeah, that's going to work well. Excellent. Alright. I'm going to lay these out, see how well they size up, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I've wrapped the blade itself in just some painter's tape. And the Pathfinder Knife Shop recommends Gorilla Glue. I know a lot of people don't like Gorilla Glue. Most people use epoxy, but I'm going to go with what they recommend, which is Gorilla Glue. Like I said, I've already got the pins are included with the scales. And here are my scales. They're slightly oversized, which is what we want. We're going to apply some Gorilla Glue to the steel, just a thin coating to the wood, and a little bit on each pin. So let's see how this goes. Thinking that's probably enough. Because this stuff expands a lot. Probably should have been wearing gloves. Too late now. One pin through. That pin went through really easily. Get a little bit of glue on the scales. That's not that big of an issue because we're going to be sanding the scales down. Runs all the way through. Take a little tap. And there we go. I'm going to clamp this tape in. And as you can see, they give you a fair amount of extra wood there. It's close, but it gives you enough. When you sand it, you should be in pretty good shape. So lock this down just to stabilize everything. And I'm going to use my clamps here. Get them as close to the pins as I can. I'll put these up here. And I'm going to take, I got one of these clamps that have the rubber feet. See if I can slide him in there. Get a good clamp on this. All right. Clamp object together for 1 to 2 hours. You can use heavy objects to achieve clamping pressure, blah blah. Fully cures in 24. So, I guess we'll be back tomorrow. Alright, day 2, and I spent most of the morning sanding the handles down. 150, 100, 150, 220. Developed some interesting kind of grayish patterns in it, along with the curly. But that's about where I want to be. I ended up at 200, I think, yeah. And now we're going to stain it, and I'm using, this is Majestic, there we go, Majestic Maple Stain. It is from R.W. Wilson. You can find them online. And this comes as crystals that you add water to. We're going to shake this up. Use a paper towel to put it on. And grab some gloves. Alright, got the gloves on. My understanding this stuff kind of goes on yellow. Yeah, and then it's going to develop its color over time. Darken up. Kind of really pulls up that grain, that texture. And we'll let this dry. Alright, let's let this dry. Come back in a couple hours. Alright, so here we go. This is 2 coats of that finish, and then 1 coat of True Oil on the handle. There's the blade. I am very happy with how this turned out. It feels good in the hand. The handle's not too thick, but it's beefy enough to get a good purchase on a blade of this size, 5-inch blade, 3/16 thick. A little bit more cleaning up on it, but that's it. That curly maple came up pretty nice. Shows up fairly well. Not quite as heavy of a grain as I would like, but I like it. This is PA Outdoors. Please like, share, comment on this video. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. Get outdoors, enjoy yourself, but remember, be safe out there. Thanks for watching.